by the way, let's just pause for a second before I read this. Remember that in the apostolic scriptures, most of the time, your translators are going to translate ekklesia as church. Okay. What if we just did that all over the place? What if we did that when it's used in the Septuagint? What would that look like? Well, let's see what that looks like. Deuteronomy 9:10. And the Lord gave me 2 tablets of stone written with the finger of God, and on them were all the words that the Lord had spoken with you on the mountain, out of the midst of the fire, on the day of the church. Makes it a little different, doesn't it? So keep in mind, this is a covenant people of God. It is a mixed multitude that has come out. He's talking about a mixed multitude that has come out. Deuteronomy 18:16, just as you desired of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the church, when you said, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, or see this great fire anymore, lest I die. Once again, covenant people of God, mixed multitude, Jew and Gentile together. Deuteronomy 23:1. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose male organ is cut off shall enter the church of the Lord. Right? Now, we could keep going. There's more passages in Deuteronomy. Let's go down. Deuteronomy 31:30. Then Moses spoke the words of this song until they were finished in the ears of all the church of Israel. Joshua 8:35. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded that Joshua did not read before all the church of Israel, and the women and the little ones and the sojourners who lived among them. Why am I reading this? Why am I showing this to you? It is my contention that the idea of ekklesia is well known in the first century. And I think that actually Yeshua is talking about building his actual covenant people. Israel has continued to reject and reject and reject. And he's talking about building this covenant people of Israel, that is exactly what it was in the Torah, a mixed multitude of people who come to faith and are attached to a physical lineage. Right? So the idea that somehow all of a sudden this is brand new and it breaks onto the same thing was talked about by Chris Date. When I interviewed Chris Date, we talked about the idea of ekklesia being in the Old Testament. And no, he said, no. It's clearly different. I don't think it is. I don't understand where that hermeneutic comes from. I don't know why we use the term ekklesia throughout. I mean, just do a word search for ekklesia within the Septuagint of the Tanakh. And I'm not just talking about the Torah. Now it starts in Deuteronomy, right? But they use it all the way through. And it's heavy in like 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings. This is not a term that was foreign to the Jews of the first century. It just wasn't. So now I know we're going over time, but it's okay. I don't care. Let's go now to Jeff Durbin. I find this to be really interesting, and I'll tell you why once we're done listening to it, but let's listen to this.
Paul's saying, like, you were grafted into this, not replaced it. You were grafted into this.
Exactly right.
What? The true Israel of God. He just argued that you're not truly Israel if you reject Jesus as the Messiah. There's this true olive tree, there's true Israel, and you Gentiles, you were grafted into this thing. Wild, but now you're in this thing. Mm-hmm. And so don't be arrogant to the ones that were cut off, these physical Jews who reject Jesus, their transgression, he cuts them off. Like, you're part of this real tree now. So people say, like, oh, you don't think they're the chosen people of God, so you believe, like, replacement theology, the church replaces Israel? What?
I can't stand that language.
Where'd you ever get that
idea?
I
can't stand it because it doesn't have anything to do with replacing Israel. It has to do with there's one covenant people of God throughout history,
right.
And the church is merely the continuation of that and the internationalizing of God's promises to bring about his kingdom to the ends of the earth. It's not about replacing. It's about all of us being engrafted into the same vine, and we're all being fed by the same root, and that root is Jesus Christ, the seed of eternal life.
I believe in a grafting theology, not a replacement.
Okay. So, what is my problem with this? That sounds all right, except for Durbin and I don't know who the other gentleman was, and I apologize for that. But what do they say? It's not a replacement. I can't stand it when people say that it's a replacement. Well, let's see here. you have said that you're the new people and basically taken the language of Israel out of it. You have, what do we want to say? Replaced, or you've done away with the culture of Israel. You've done away with the commandments that they hold so dear. You've done away with, basically, you've taken this people and you've said, okay, we are part of this people. In fact, we're not replacing them, but we're the continuation of them. But everything that they do, that they hold dear, every way that they try to connect to God and find to be holy, we're going to take that and we're going to put it over here. Now, obviously, this is hyperbole in some sense, because obviously Christians do keep some of the Torah. Continue listening to this conversation by clicking the full show link on the left side of your screen, or check out the video on the right that YouTube thinks you'll like. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you never miss content from Messiah Matters.